Hey everybody, this is Lee Bryant, Mrs. Hammond from the movie Airplane, and you're listening to Tommy Throwback Kovac on Splat from the Past. Tommy never vomits during an interview at home.
Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Yeehaw! On today's show today, I will be interviewing Jessie La Rive Mapes. You all know her as Jessie in the 1980 cult classic Urban Cowboy, the mechanical bull classic starring John Travolta and Deborah Winger and Scott Glenn. And I'm going to talk to her about her memories of making that classic and what happened during production and so forth. She's also a country singer, and we're going to talk about that as well. And it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be awesome. I reckon it's going to be awesome. So, here is my interview with Jessie La Rive Mapes. Yeehaw!
Hello.
Hey, Jessie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm blessed, thank you.
Well, this is such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being a fan.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my God. This movie was a huge staple in my house growing up when I was a kid because my mother, she was in love with John Travolta.
Her and everybody else at that age.
Yeah, of course, everybody. So, going back in time, I know that you're a singer, and long before Urban Cowboy, was that your trajectory that you were on?
Actually, no. I just sang for fun back then. That and in church, the singing came much later in life.
Oh. What was the trajectory you were on?
Raising my son, because I was actually pregnant when we first started filming.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow.
So yeah, half of the scenes I was pregnant.
Wow, that is crazy. I did not know that. But when you I know you're born and raised in Dallas. Did you grow up on a farm?
I was actually born and raised in Houston.
Oh, okay. So,
I spent most of my weekends and summers at my grandparents' place, and we had horses and cows.
mm-hmm. Horses and cows?
So I started riding when I was 3.
Wow, that's young to start. I've heard.
It's the best time to start.
Yeah. I've heard farm life is very healthy and very productive. I live in Redding, California, and this is a countryside. We're a few hours away from Bernie, California, which is a real farm town. My grandparents and my aunt lived there for like the last 30 or 40 years now. And I've seen the horses and the pigs and the cows and so forth over there. I can imagine...
I've got granny.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, finish.
So I was just saying, yeah, I can imagine that it's a very healthy and productive lifestyle.
Well, I've got grandkids that live in Fallbrook, and they enjoy coming out to our house in the summer because we live on 16 acres and have horses and cows and chickens and dogs. So, yeah, I work in the city and live in the country.
Nice. So, when you got cast as Urban Cowboy, were you just fresh out of high school?
No, I graduated in '77, and they came out, started doing everything in '79. The plans for the movie got started late '78 when Aaron Lathan came out and did the interview for Esquire magazine. And then we started filming in '79.
So basically you got cast because you knew somebody that was involved with it.
I got cast to play myself.
Right.
My best friend and her ex-husband are who the movie Bud and Sissy, the characters are based on.
Mm-hmm. And so, you played yourself and stuff. You always reminded me of a tomboy, were you? Always.
But I like to say that I can go out and work horses or work cows during the day and put on 5-inch heels and get in the limo and go out at night. So you have to be versatile.
Yeah. Yeah. I read that Deborah Winger was a replacement for Sissy Spacek. Did you know that?
For who?
For Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, they wanted to cast Sissy, and I think she was doing Kovac daughter or something at the time and wasn't available.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see anybody else being Sissy. She did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm. She did a really good job, I have to say. Yeah. Yeah, because apparently Travolta and Sissy Spacek, they had done Carrie together a few years before. And I think, Sissy Spacek, she was lined up to do this movie, and then I think that they had a personal falling out, and that's why Sissy Spacek didn't do it, but then she did The Coal Miner's Daughter. That was the story that I was reading.
And you never know what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, you never know. It's crazy. Thank God for the internet and IMDb. Even though IMDb can be inaccurate, you find this stuff out, and it's pretty amazing.
True. You find out all kinds of things you didn't know, and they were right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of the script for the movie?
There was a lot of ad-libbing going on in the script, because obviously what Hollywood saw and what actually went on at the club were two very different things. So, they pretty much, John and Deborah pretty much went by the script,
mm-hmm.
and Gator, Norman, myself, and a few others, we did our own ad-libbing. We weren't actors. So to expect us to memorize a script and act on cue was a little difficult. So they said, okay, just be yourselves and do whatever. So we did, and it worked out a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Did you think the overall premise of the movie was a pretty good one?
It makes for a good love story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Betty and Dew were already divorced when we started this whole process, and the thought of them ever getting back together never crossed either one of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
But it did make for a good story, and obviously it made for a great film because we're still alive and well and enjoying the movie today. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 40 years. Can you believe it's been that long?
I can, because my son turns 41 this year. In 2 weeks, actually.
Wow.
So,
that's crazy, yeah. It's funny, I think go ahead.
His thing was when he was in the Navy, he told everybody he was in the movie Urban Cowboy, and they're like, yeah, there ain't no way. And he's like, well, my mom was in it, she was pregnant with me, so technically I'm in the movie.
That's great.
And then I had to send copies of the film out to him where he was deployed so that he could prove it.
Yeah. That's crazy. You got any good John Travolta stories?
No. Yeah, I mean, he was amazing. I mean, we hung around. He would come pick us up, take us to lunch. My first limo ride was with him. My first phone call in a car was with him. He said, here, call somebody. And I'm like, okay. So I called my grandmother. She says, what are you doing? I said, I'm riding in a limousine with John Travolta. She said, Jessie Renee, don't you lie to me. And about that time, he took the phone and said, hi, Grandma, how are you?
Yeah.
My 21st birthday, I'd never been on an airplane. He had just bought one at Hobby Airport, and he took me up flying for my birthday. He was an all-around great guy. He was friendly to everybody. He wasn't Deborah Winger and I, it was the chemistry between the two of us. Was real.
Yeah.
We really became good friends during that film. Now, afterwards, no contact, but during that film, there was chemistry. We hung out, we drank together, we went out and partied together, so.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, I think that because there was such a a somewhat negative reaction to the movie critically at the time, and they've done so much great work, I don't think they probably don't look back at it as, as great work. I'm sure in personally they did have a great time, but they probably look back at it as just something they probably wish they hadn't done,
True on Deborah's part, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
When CNT did the Rise and Fall of the Urban Cowboy, and they interviewed John, he made the comment that it was one of his favorite films because it was so much fun to do.
Well, that's good. That's good. But working with Deborah Winger was good, because I've heard she's been difficult on some movies.
That I can't attest to because we had so much fun.
Mm-hmm. So she was like one of the girls, just laughing, having a good time.
She was. There were scenes cut from the movie that I wish were still there. We filmed a scene when it was just she and I, nobody else in the club. We're on the bull, having a good time, playing, doing tricks on the bull, and we get into a beer fight.
Yeah.
And we just put beer on everybody at that point. And they filmed it, but they didn't put it in the film.
Oh.
All the tricks that Deborah did in the film, Betty, who was Sissy's character, Betty and I used to do every one of those tricks. So I taught Deborah how to do all those tricks on the bull.
Mm-hmm. How was working with Scott Glenn?
Amazing. Super nice gentleman.
Yeah. That was actually his somewhat comeback film, because after he did Apocalypse Now, that was a really hard production and it took a toll on everyone involved. He kind of gave up on-screen acting for a few years, and this was the movie that kind of brought him back into it.
No, he played a great bad guy.
Yeah. And he usually does in everything he does. He's usually a really good bad guy. And I've seen him play a good guy a bunch of times, too. He's a versatile, classically trained actor. How about... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
How about Madeline Smith?
I did not have much interaction with her whatsoever. She stayed to herself.
Mm-hmm. How about Barry Corbin?
He was friendly. His wife was on set with their new baby, so he spent a lot of time with her. But he hung with us a lot.
Mm-hmm. I've heard he's a nice guy. He's a really good actor too.
Yes, he is. I've always enjoyed everything he's in.
I think he's from Dallas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And also you had a then kind of unknown Bonnie Raitt is in the movie.
Amazing singer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had been...
Matter of fact, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, she got successful later in life, long after this movie, but she was still relatively new at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I do shows, I open with "Don't It Make You Want to Dance."
Nice. Do you do a really good rendition?
I do my own version.
Yeah.
She's got such a wonderful growl in her voice. It's hard for me to mimic that, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's...
The music, we lost Charlie Daniels today, and
yes.
That breaks my heart. He was such a gentleman, and hung out with us while we were filming that part of his scene. So.
Yeah, he was just huge off of The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. How was working with James Bridges as a director?
A lot of fun. He the scene in the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
first night, I was supposed to be in that scene, and I was in the hospital having math, and so they had to pull an actress in because Marshall was supposed to be my boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeta Rainey got pulled in to play Marshall's girlfriend. The next night, I had to film a scene at the restaurant, and so Jim hired a nanny and allowed the nanny and myself and my son to stay in his motorhome, and the nanny watched my son while I was doing my scenes.
Nice. Yeah, a couple years after this, he directed Deborah in a movie called Mike's Murder, which was kind of a thriller, dramatic thriller. And then right after that, he did another movie with Travolta called Perfect with Jamie Lee Curtis. It was kind of an aerobics, 80s craze type of a movie.
Right.
It was pretty bad. But
No, but it was a good movie.
I haven't seen it in years, but everybody talks about how bad it is. But if I saw it again, maybe I'd like it. But
yeah, it's kind of like it's an acquired taste. It's like
yeah.
one of my favorite John Travolta movies is Michael.
Oh yeah.
I watch that movie over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's so completely different from what he's done, and I just love him in it.
Yeah, I interviewed his nephew, Tom Fridley, about 7 months ago. He has a small part in Michael. He was at a low point in his career as an actor where he couldn't get roles, so his uncle gave him a couple small parts in some movies, and that was one of them.
Well, Green Hall is where they filmed the bar scene,
Mm-hmm.
Michael.
Yeah.
It's really cool because I finally got to sing at Green Hall a couple of months ago. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool, yeah. When the movie came out, it made a respectable $53 million at the box office, and it got a lot of both good and bad reviews. But what was the reaction when you saw it? When you saw it, like over there in Texas?
It was really hard to watch myself on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the premiere. We would see bits and pieces of it every single day because we watched the dailies.
Right.
Before we start filming. So we'd see bits and pieces of it every day. So until the premiere, I had not seen the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
When, we watched the whole thing during the premiere, and through the years, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but never have truly sat down and watched the whole movie from start to finish, but twice. Once was when the television version came out.
Right.
And then last year, Schrader Hall had a movie night, and they asked me to come out and sign autographs. And I sat with the group of friends and watched the whole thing from beginning to end. Usually, when it's on, I'm at a function that's doing something for Urban Cowboy, so I don't get to sit and watch it. So watching me on screen is kind of like listening to myself sing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to listen to myself sing because I'm my worst critic.
Yeah.
Just my own little thing,
Right. I'm that way too. Yeah, I can't listen to myself do this podcast unless I'm interviewing somebody for a second or third or fourth time, and I don't want to rehash stuff that we've already talked about. I go back and listen that way, but I cannot bring myself to listening to me, And plus, people tell me all the time how much I sound like my father, which is a good thing because I love my father, but I just feel I feel so insecure, I want to be my own person.
Right. It's like my engineer, I'll go into the studio and he's like, put your headphones on. And I can't. If I don't have one ear open, I can't do my set. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Do you have a favorite song on the soundtrack?
It's hard. I love Don't It Make You Want to Dance because it's such a fun song to do.
Yeah.
And then, but, you know, Looking for Love, that's going to be the number one go-to anytime you think of that movie.
Of course. It's like
and
that.
And Hello, Texas would be my third.
Yeah, everyone loves that song. The one I love, and I hear it on classic rock radio all the time, is Joe Walsh's All Night Long.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Yes, and I was lucky enough to see him in 2016. He came to the Bay Area to perform, and he did that, and just everyone got up and started dancing. All the people who were, because we're like, you know, on the grass, you know, it was an outdoor show. Once he started playing that song, everyone got up and started dancing.
That's a good song.
It is. And also Bob Seger's 9 Tonight, that's a good one.
9 Tonight, it is.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The whole soundtrack was just amazing. And I'll go to some of my shows and I'll have people ask me to sing, you know, can I have this dance? It's not one that I sing on a regular basis, but I will sing it if asked.
Yeah. Boss Skaggs, Look What You've Done to Me is on there. The Eagles' Lion Eyes, which was old by that point, but that's a good one too. Lots of great songs. So after that movie came out, did you get any offers to be in any other movies?
No, not really. I mean, we did some TV shows, and I did some stuff for short-lived series, you know, because they did something at the Bull, and so I did some Bull scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't looking to be an actress.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was hard enough because we had to go out to LA a couple of times to do voiceovers, and then we went out to LA for the rap party.
Right.
And with a new baby, it was just not something I was looking to get into.
Yeah. Some people are like that. A lot of people I've talked to, you know, they only did one movie that became a huge cult success, and they said it was fun, but that was all I needed. I didn't need to have any more.
Yeah, it's kind of like your bucket list, you know? You have a bucket list and you check things off. Well, making a movie was never on my bucket list, but you know what? I got to do it anyway.
Yeah. It just happened, you know. One quote that I've heard from a guest of mine, and I use this quote all the time because it's also true in my life with all the successes I've done. I recommend naivete, because naivete will get you anywhere.
I agree.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason, even if it's accidental.
That's it. God has a plan for us, and all we have to do is listen and everything will work out.
Exactly. I had a car accident 5 years ago. I didn't think I was going to start a podcast 2 years later, but I did. And it's been very
If you'd asked me 5 years ago if I thought I would ever have a song that, you know, was played all over the world, I'd have told you no. If you'd asked me 2 years ago if I'd have thought I'd have an album with songs that I had written myself, I would have told you no. But, you know, things happen.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get into singing your songs and playing bars and what have you?
I've always liked to sing. And, you know, I'd sing. I would go and sing or sit in with the bands, you know, not having my own band, at the Winchester Club, the Western Swing, and Gillies, and the Nezadel, all those nightclubs that were so hot and hopping during the urban cowboy era. And then in 84, 85, I was part of a band, and we were a house band in North Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And in 86, I realized that I didn't like the road I was traveling, and I quit singing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, I started back just here and there, singing with you know, guys, and then started singing for the Urban Cowboy reunions, and hooked up with the right people at the right time,
Yeah.
And they've just been in a book that I've kept with me. And some of them I wrote just a year or so ago. I wrote a couple of new country songs, and I wrote a couple of gospel songs. So
Yeah.
we're going to see where they go. We're just about at the end of the road on it. We're doing the master now, and then it gets sent off, and hopefully within the next couple of months I'll have a new album out.
Mm-hmm. Have you met a ton of big country star names?
Back in my Phillies days, yes, because I kind of lived there, you know.
Yeah.
So I meet all the entertainers. Not so much now, because if I go to somebody's show, I try to leave them alone. I did meet Miranda Lambert last year.
Mm-hmm. Wow, she's a legend.
Is a woman playing on my lead guitar on my album named Playing Animal Turner, who played lead guitar for Hank Williams Jr. for over 20 years.
Wow. That's cool.
So, yeah, I think it's way cool. You know?
Yeah. Have you ever met Chris Christopherson?
Chris Christopherson? No, I have not. I met Willie while we were filming, and then turned around and married a man that worked for Willie Nelson for 5 or 6 years. His claim to fame is he grew grass for Willie. My husband Charlie was the golf course superintendent at Willie's golf course.
Nice. Yeah.
But he'll tell you he grew grass for Willie. So.
Chris Christopherson, he went to the same high school I did, San Mateo High School in San Mateo, California. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, he graduated, I believe, in '54, and he played football there. And he went to an anniversary of the school back in the late '70s. And 2002, there was like a 100-year bicentennial of the school. It was rumored that he was going to go, but I don't think he did. I actually couldn't make it. I was going to go, but I couldn't make it. But it would have been cool to meet him, though. So, what have you been doing since the pandemic started?
I'm still working. I work for a Ford dealership, so we're considered essential employees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on my shows, you know, all the live music venues are pretty much closed down.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, we thought we were going to open back up, so I had a show booked for the 16th of this month. I had a show booked for the 27th of this month. I had shows booked next month, so they're all been canceled again. So don't know what's going to happen as far as music goes.
Yeah, it's insane. I worry about the future of all venues where people are together socializing. It's really, really sad, but I'm hopeful that it's going to come to a halt and everything will be okay.
All we can do is pray.
All we can do is pray. Absolutely.
I had my guitar player came over for just 4th of July. We had a few friends over, and I went ahead and we posted one song live, and that's, you know, because we haven't been able to go play anywhere, so we just like, hey, let's just put this out on Facebook, you know, just to show people we can still have fun.
Yeah, everyone's doing the virtual thing, and I'm not a huge fan of the virtual thing because I think everyone looks and sounds like a robot, and the sound's really off and everything. It's like public access from the old days sounds better than a lot of virtual stuff you see online.
Well, it's like I sing in church. I'm in the band in church, and for the first couple of months, we had the pastor's wife, and the band out in the arena, and it's really hard. I don't know if people realize how hard it is to speak, or number one, to play and not have an audience.
Yeah.
And make it look like you're really enjoying what you're doing, but then your pastor has to be able to speak, and there's no audience there. He's speaking to nobody. So we did that for a couple of months, but now we're back. And, you know, our church family is small enough.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. You mentioned before you had done some TV work afterwards. Anything notable?
There was a show out called The Dolphins.
Dolphins?
And that's the one I did the stunt work on. And then went and did Games People Play in Kingsland, Ohio, at King's Amusement Park.
Mm-hmm.
And little like Good Morning Newstead and Good Morning America and things, just all because of the Urban Cowboy. But by the time 1980 rolled around, that was pretty much over with. Now, 5 years ago, I think it was, CMT came out and interviewed us for the rise and fall of the Urban Cowboy.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. Is that available anywhere?
It's on CMT, and I think you might be able to get it on Netflix. I'm not positive.
Mm-hmm. I'll take a look at it because I have Netflix.
But other than I do like the live podcast. I've been interviewed by quite a few people like this. So, but I'm not an actress.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, when somebody would come up and say, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" I'm like, "Really? You want that?" And I mean, it's only been probably the last 10 years or so that I've really embraced it, and I keep 8x10s in my car. So if somebody says, "Hey, you were an Urban Cowboy, can I take a picture?" Yeah, would you like an autograph too?
Yeah.
That's where I work. All the salesmen and everybody will bring their customers in to meet me, and so I've learned to embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, 61 years old, and signing autographs, and doing an album. It's like, okay, why didn't I think to do this 20 years ago?
Because the internet has really enabled fandom to be out there for the performers, with the conventions that have gone on, in the last 15 or 20 years, and of course I worry about the future of that with this pandemic because I love going to conventions.
Yeah, we signed with a gentleman with PR Celebrity last year that was supposed to be booking us for all these shows because of the 40th anniversary.
Right.
And hasn't been able to book anything because of this.
Yeah. Well, there's hope for next year for the 41st. So.
And I hope I'm around for the 50th. So.
You will be. God has a plan for you. You'll be around for the 50th and the 60th.
Well, thank you very much. I watched A League of Their Own last night and cried, watching her go and, go to the Hall of Fame openings. Like, this is kind of like what we've got going on with the Urban Cowboy.
Yeah, League of Their Own's a great movie.
It is.
Well, Jessie, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. You are the very definition of Southern hospitality, and I really appreciate it.
You're so sweet.
I try to be.
You ever get to Texas to hook me up, and we'll show you what it's all about in the country.
Absolutely. I've been wanting to go to Texas for a long time, especially in Houston. I heard it's beautiful over there.
Houston, not so much. San Antonio's really nice. I live between Corpus, Victoria, and San Antonio, so.
Nice. Well,
it's nice.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know if I ever get down there after all this craziness is over. And I hope when it's over, you get to do the signing shows and the concerts and what have you and stuff. But in the meantime, stay safe and have a wonderful day.
Well, I appreciate you very much. I've enjoyed it. And, keep up with me on Facebook. Check out PR Celebrity, and we'll see if we can get out your way.
I sure will, Jessie. You have a great. Oh, it's going to be night by now, so have a great night over there.
It's still daylight. It's only 6:45, so you have a
Yeah, it's summertime. I forget. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Jessie La Rive Mapes. Ain't she a sweetheart? Ah, what a nice lady. Like I said, true definition of Southern hospitality. I enjoyed talking to her. Check out the cult classic Urban Cowboy. A very interesting time capsule from the 80s. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes. Yeehaw!